Introducing in the blue corner, standing 5'6", weighing in 69.9 kilos, fighting the Randy Roberts of the Fereday in his debut fight, Scott Fereday.
Okay, Paul, so back into lightweight action here. We have Scott Fereday versus Erik Gervald. Again, so Andy Roberts, BJJ.
Yeah, very heavily supported this one, aren't they? It's a good spinning back kick there, Joe, to round up again. I mean, it seems to be quite a favourable thing tonight. So who have we got here, Dave? We've got Scott Fereday is in the BJJ shorts, and that's right, the bad boy shorts. Is that right?
I think it's the other way around.
Oh, I apologise. There's some great knees coming in there. Good scramble against the cage.
Yeah, so we're pinned against the cage here.
Yeah, some good knees landing in the midsection.
Looking for knees.
This day boxing is becoming ever so much more popular, mate, hasn't it? I mean, you see it's a lot more in fights.
It is, yeah, and I think obviously, you know, people, you can't see it coming, and that's probably why it's so popular. So he's looking for the referee there. I believe that's Scott looking to the ref. Obviously unhappy with something.
Yeah, as he moved away there, he caught him a good left hook on the way out. And
so big high kick there from Erik, although he missed. So we have Scott in the board shorts and Erik in the short shorts. There's nice knees to the stomach there, Paul.
Erik has landed a good 7 or 8 of those knees, and that's going to take something out of Scott. Scott pushing for that single leg, but it's good posture there by Erik. See Roman Ship in the corner here of Erik. He's almost in the cage. I mean,
yeah, he's very vocal.
Very vocal indeed.
He'll probably be commentating louder than us, Paul. So Scott there again trying to go for the neck, and I think that's a desperate measure, Paul, between us.
I think you're right. I think Erik has got very good dominance on this fight so far. He's pressing the action. He's
also got a bit of a height advantage there.
I don't know if it's optical illusion because of short shorts, whatever. Those legs seem very long and big, and if one of those leg kicks do land, they're going to hurt.
Okay, so back against the cage. Erik is against the cage, and we have Scott pressing him there.
Yeah, but you see a good knee there by Erik to Scott's head. Scott needs to be careful that head being so low because he will take some big knees.
Yeah, so it looks like Scott trying to hold the knee to restrict Erik pulling these knees off. So strikes now coming from Erik.
That was a great right hook as they broke away.
And a knee to the stomach from Erik as well. Very nice.
Yeah, those knees are landing very well. That's good Thai boxing there from Erik. It seems this South Moreton boxing camp has got a good all-rounder down there now.
Yeah, very well versed, Paul, very well versed. So, as we said about Roman, I think we've both actually trained with him in the past.
Yeah,
you know, very strong wrestler.
Yeah, Roman came to us a good few years ago, didn't he? He's a good, strong wrestler. I'm sure he's adapted. His hands have come a lot better, and he's training with people like Julius Francis. I mean, former British and Commonwealth champion. I mean,
yeah,
got a good camp
pretty big guy. So again, more knees coming in from Erik. I can't see this fight lasting too long, Paul.
I mean, desperation there
looking for the front kick.
Scott got his hands down quite. He's got to be careful. These leg kicks, just as I said there, and Erik throws one. not very hard, but it needs to scoring points.
So again, both fighters in the centre of the cage. Front kick again from Erik, and Scott looks for the clinch.
I mean, Erik has been inside the cage before. He's got a fight record of 1-0. I mean, he has experience. This is all new for Scott, and maybe that little bit of experience only being one fight. He's just showing here tonight.
Certainly, and again, we don't know how far that fight actually dates back from. That could be a year or two ago. It may also be recent.
Yes, true, but I mean, any experience is experience, and he's had the feeling, the crowd shouting his name, and he knows what it feels like.
So we have Andy Roberts' gym shouting for knees from Scott, and he pulls one off there, Paul.
He does. As you say, the height difference here, the height difference might be a factor. I mean, it's a bit more difficult for Scott to land a good knee to midsection because Erik does seem quite a bit taller in his midweight, so obviously a lot higher.
Okay, so end of the first round. Grant was just checking the fight there for some reason, not sure what that was about.
Yeah, I think good round to Erik there. I think Erik pressed the action very well. He almost dominated that first round, really. But maybe those first fight nerves have now been dumped from Scott. He might come back in the second a lot stronger.
Exactly. I think, you know what, when you actually get out there and start throwing leather, all those nerves seem to go, and you just get back into training mode, I think, Paul.
About to start round 2 here, and looking over at Scott, he does seem to be breathing quite heavily with an open mouth, which if he catches one of those leg kicks or those right hooks again, that could be a good night.
Yeah, so they look to touch gloves there, Paul, back into the centre of the cage. Oh, and the first punch actually comes from Scott.
Yeah, I think his corner told him you've got to be more aggressive, and I think he's taken that on board, and he come out firing there.
Yeah, like you just said, if I was scoring that fight, Paul, I would have probably given the first round to Erik. So Scott certainly has to look to make an impact on the judges in the second round.
Well, again, although it's not always been the case so far tonight, on the ground, Scottish from Andy Roberts' gym, I mean, this might be where it's favourable.
And that's where they are right now. So Scott in top position, looking to probably gain mount, I would say here, Paul. So he's in half guard. Yeah, trying to pass the guard of Erik.
Yeah, Erik's got his leg in very well there. Now he's now pulling full guard. This position, what should Scott try and posture up, or he should try and break this guard and move around to side control?
Yeah, I think Scott's gym will actually be telling him to take side control and stay on the ground. I mean, as we said, these are ground specialists. So I can't imagine that he'll be looking to stand up at any point soon.
Saying that, this South Moreton boxing team have shown very good ground skill tonight, and already, I mean, that's good defence there from Erik on the ground. He's getting back to his feet.
And he's back to his feet now, Paul. So again, Scott hanging very low, possibly looking for a takedown as Erik looks to get off some knees. So nice cheeky little knee to the head there of Scott from Erik. Controlling his hand, got a little knee off to the face.
Yeah, it's a way of telling Scott that, you know, you haven't got me, I'm in this fight, and cut good knees to stay at the midsection there again as well. Well, these guys are going to try for a throw here possibly, but now they're back up against the cage. Scott needs to be throwing a few more of these knees, I think, in this position. Even just trying to work the legs, they're long legs there, Erik.
Yeah,
if Scott was to work those legs out, it might help him.
Definitely, he has Erik pinned against the cage. He needs to make something of it. You can't just lay and pray.
Yeah, Erik needs to try and put a twist on here. We'll try and move his man away from the cage. Try and turn around and get in a dominant position. He can't just sit there happily back against the cage.
Okay, so the referee's breaking them up there, giving them a bit of space. Start the action again.
I think that's a good call from Grant. Not much really happening there.
Both guys.
Oh, that was very cheeky, very cheeky by Scott. You know what? All's fair in the cage.
Yeah, that's what this game's all about. You know, these things can happen.
We've seen knockouts like that in the past. Touch gloves and overhand. Definitely. We've seen guys get knocked out in those circumstances.
And you know what? When the round starts, they can do what they like. So that's, you know, that can go ahead.
It's true. There's no rule. There's no rule that says you've got to touch gloves. It's a fighter's choice after the bell starts.
I think both guys actually wanted to take a breather just then, Paul. So we now have Erik pressing Scott back against the cage. Again, nice knee to the midsection from Erik.
Trying to cut with a swinging uppercut there, and He's very careful with Scott's head, because that was a good knee to head, like you just said.
I think Erik will be looking for some more of those, Paul.
I think Erik's trying to take his back heel, now he's back into but I think, as you see on the knee, he wound that up, didn't he? That was a telegraph shot. Scott just trying to defend that and put his knee in the air.
Like you say, Scott was in danger of actually giving his back to Erik a moment ago. Quite surprising from the BJJ camp.
Yeah, I think again that's tiredness, like we said. I mean, you can see both these guys are getting quite exhausted now. This goes to a third. It'll be very, very good to see who actually comes out on top of the third, because both guys are very tired.
And it looks like it's going to, Paul. 10 seconds now into the end of the second round.
It's a good back and forth battle again. I think Erik's doing very well. I think his third round, Scott needs to chop those legs. Hasn't been any leg kicks at all tonight, has
No leg kicks. You know, I expected that from our last fight. The previous guy, David Garrett, actually training with Gary Turner, who was a previous British heavyweight Grand Prix K1 champion. So
one of the best coaches out there, Gary.
He is, and he's also now doing a lot of hypnosis.
Gary Turner for years, K1 original, so he came back into the MMA, fought MMA quite a few, fought Tank Campbell.
He actually did it heavyweight, and now he's fighting at middleweight. So Gary managed a huge cut, actually skipped out light heavyweight and went from heavy down to middleweight, and looking very good at it as well.
Nice to see Gary compete again. Have you ever seen that again from Gary?
It's a possibility. Yeah, we'll ask him later on. Catch him in the bar. So this is this is going into the third round, Paul.
Yeah, the both fighters in the corner. Scott's demeanour seems very as if he's not really hungry for this third round. I'm sure it's not the case.
No, he's definitely caught a couple of knees.
Both guys very slow from the start. In the second round, Scott came out firing.
And nice actual wrestling there from Scott. Maybe he's back in this fight, Paul.
Yeah, possibly. See if he can keep the stamina going for the next 4 minutes.
Okay, so they're in the corner of Scott's corner over there. Andy Roberts trying to get him to do some uppercuts here, some dirty boxing. Obviously trying to give him some hand movements instead of talk about it, so not to give it away to Erik.
Yeah, I mean, the best place for Scott to be is in his corner right now, but Erik obviously well aware of that and pushing him away to the other side of the cage. And still throwing those knees. He must have landed a good 30 knees in this fight so far.
He has, and that's, it's all about wearing your opponent down, Paul. If you can't actually get a clean knee to the face, if you can get it to the body or to the legs, that's going to tire them down in the later rounds.
I mean, look at the thighs of Erik. He's got quite big thighs. I mean, they're quite powerful legs.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's got some big kicks behind him, but definitely some nice knees.
Well, they've definitely worked for him tonight. I mean, he's definitely scored points for those knees, and he's taken a wind out of Scott on numerous occasions. But Scott's still pushing forward, got Erik's back against the cage. He seems to be fighting for a takedown, but
I think both fighters also seem to be tiring now, Paul.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there. He's
So
trying to single.
Scott seems to be looking here for the takedown, as you just said.
But Erik doing good defence there, locking his foot behind the leg of Scott, not allowing him to get the leverage to get that takedown. I think both guys there kind of praying for the bell quite soon. They both look very tired. It's been a good fight indeed for them.
You know, I think the referee's in a position where not too much is going on, but they're actually staying active, so you probably can't really break them up.
Yeah, a bit of a quiet fight this one for Grant. It's not to get involved much at all. Both guys have kept stage fairly active. But those knees have been the factor for me.
Yeah,
those knees have been really good tonight.
Continuing knees. Scott doesn't like his liking this right now. He was taking some hammer fists to the side of the head. He's taken a few knees.
As a judge, I suppose it depends on how you score a fight. They do say pressure and octagon control, which is being done by Scott right now, but the actual strikes have been landed by Erik, aren't they?
That's correct. And again, it's about obviously the effectiveness of those strikes, the ones that are actually landing rather than throwing willy-nilly.
Yeah,
Scott has seemed to land some nice strikes tonight.
I would say 95% of those knees that have been thrown by Erik, though, have landed quite crisply as well.
Yeah. So Scott is now tied up with his opponent, and Erik does appear to be the bigger man from here as Erik spins him into the cage. More knees to the midsection. Scott is not enjoying this.
That was a powerful knee that...
Yeah, he's not enjoying this, Paul. He wants out of there.
You could see the wincing on Scott's face as he pulled away. He got caught by a good right hook again.
Yeah, I think he was actually going to drop to his knees. Looked like he was kind of waving off.
That's a good takedown, Moscow. That's going to definitely help him. That's brought him back into this fight. Let's see if he can do anything with this.
It's also going to stop the knees pull.
Well, yeah, indeed. It's giving Scott a little bit of a breather and maybe give a bit of confidence here the last few seconds of the round to lay some good punches in.
So as we can see on the big screen in front of us, Scott is now, he was trying to take a choke. Both guys are scrambling. I think they're definitely tired, Paul. Erik's pulling guard.
I can see the fight finish in this position. I can't see the guys moving much from here. I mean, Erik looks very tired. Scott's happy to stay on top, score some points. But is it enough to win this fight?
Do you know, I think the first 2 rounds were probably more dominant in the fight for Erik.
Apart from the takedowns, Erik probably won with a strike on the round 3, but the takedown's obviously a big factor in this last round. And to finish the fight on top by Scott.
So both guys now scrambling for punches, and that is it, Paul.
Yeah, decision again on this, the 4th fight this evening. Let's see how the judges score this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 full rounds, the judges' decision was unanimous to Erik